So my name is Donalee Peden Wesley, and I'm from Syracuse, New York. And I'm here to talk about a drawing that is included in the Made in New York show, the 2022. This piece is called Maresnest series, and it's one that the Maresnest series I'd used years ago and decided to revisit it since there was a lot of turmoil, chaos, insanity going on, and it warranted a visit back. In the series, I use a number of symbols, and the symbols are surrogates. I don't necessarily explain anything. I would rather have a viewer bring their life experiences to the piece. So drawings for me have always been something that I've been drawn to, simply because they're spontaneous and I love the use of line. This piece has included a number of materials in it, so there's watercolor in it, there's pastel, charcoal, whatever I was kind of grabbing at the time. Color not necessarily adheres to the image. I like it to be an aura, and a lot of times the paint is put down first, and then I have to deal with that. So it gives me a challenge, which I always enjoy, because otherwise it gets a little bit kind of repetition. As you can see, there's a number of different mark making. Mark making to me is extremely important. That the touch of that tool on paper is something that I've always loved and I always look for. So that particular weighted mark, and it's extremely very mindful mark making, so that when you're finished drawing, it's mentally and physically exhausting. Then I know I've put in some good time into the work. I also use a number of models that I've worked with for years, so they can actually work with me because I give them weird narratives. And the narratives that they use kind of speak to some of the emotions that they project. So the pieces and the symbols are ones that I've worked on for years. They are symbols that I've come up with. They're not meant to shock, they're meant to provoke thought. The pieces do reflect a lot of animal and human relationships. That's what I've dealt with for my whole career, and the environment. So a lot of the stuff that has been going around and in the news is also echoed in the work. Things that I read and activities that I deal with all kind of contribute to these symbols. And they are multifaceted, so they have a number of different meanings attached to them, ones that have definite meaning to me, perhaps not to anyone else. And that's where I hope that people can bring their own experiences to the pieces. This piece was, again, about chaos. It also, for me, has more of kind of extinction. So we're looking back at, we've lost how many billions of birds over the last few years. The kind of ancient looking dinosaur kind of fish that I come up with is also going back, hearkening back to where we started as a species, and everything came out of that goo. So we are all one, and hopefully people will take that away from that too. Because thinking about, you know, this speciesism, that one species is kind of subpar to another species. So thinking about that we all came out of the goo. So that is another symbol, and it has a number of other symbols connected to it too. So a lot of these, you know, the mask wearing, the evilness, looking at like the shirt that is empty. So this void of feelings that people have for other species is, again, something that goes back to the narrative. And it has a few other ones that I'll let someone else look at it and tell me what they think. So.